do 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 do. Working on it, working on it, working on it. Aloha, Lancer. Lancer Main, Lancel. Hail, Griffler. Hey, thank you very much, Griffler. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And howdy, Daniel. JMCL and Elrond. Greetings, greetings, greetings. Let's see. Yep. Still working on getting a few things set up. Do. Just the pro pre-stream. Yep. Don't understand why it does that. What resolution is this thing capturing at? Because it cuts off the side. I'm pretty sure I'm at 1920. I guess I'll find out in a minute.
I'm showing your sources 720p.
What? Trying to find, is there some place where it sets that? Surely I'm streaming at 1080.
Yeah, let me bring up my OBS.
And I'm using Streamlabs OBS. Video bitrate 6000.
Let's see here.
Video. What? Yeah, it says my base canvas resolution is 2560 by 16. Output scaled 1280 720. What?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna have to look at that afterwards. It won't let me change it right now, obviously, because I'm in the stream. I had no idea.
You probably have better internet than I do, but I stream at 720p also. Just
Yeah, I'm all Google Fiber, gigabit all the way.
The special phrase is march to a different tune there, Gleppo.
One of the mics is scratchy. Is it mine? I had my hand on there, actually, so it may have been scratchy there. And Elgarion is actually going direct pipe in, so he's not going from microphone. In the old days, as in 2 streams ago, we were going speaker to microphone for Elgarion, but now he goes straight through, digital all the way.
Uh-oh. Looks like they're going to try to guess your password now.
It's like 15 or I don't even know how long it is. I'll give you a hint. It has lowercase, uppercase,
what?
numbers, and symbols in it.
Right.
I hope I didn't give away too much.
It's the same password on my luggage.
Fish tank. That's good. Yeah. Yeah, I got the fish tank behind me here. I had to turn down the lights on it. We now have a few fish in there. Don't tell Fizzle there's actually some real fish in there, even though it's only been set up a little over a week. I know, I guess it'd be exactly a week from right now. because I got it during the stream last time. The delivery guys came and I had to bail out on the stream, and then I went and immediately after the stream, as some people saw, I got it put up on the stand. When was that? No, was it 2 weeks ago I got it then? Because I think last week was the time I was working on it, but I hadn't, maybe it was Thursday it came in, or Wednesday or something. But anyways, set up. It's turning the ammonia into nitrites and nitrates, or nitrites into nitrates, so it's all good. Paku. Speaking of fish, the doors.
Are you still carrying around those flowers from the Valentine's event?
Absolutely.
Like 2 weeks ago?
Exactly. That's what I'm doing. I even did some testing with the flowers there. Trying to do some combat testing with it. Punch, punch, punch. I love how people say march to a different tune. Always say the phrase like in the universe chat to make sure everybody sees them say it.
Oh yeah, let me get something out in the universe too. I got something ready to push. Wink.
Oh, and it's actually 4 o'clock, but I'm going to run and get a drink, just grabbing a soda out of the fridge. Not a soda, but you know. 1 second.
Sure. So how's it going, guys? Elgarion Community Manager for Shroud of the Avatar here. This stream today is going to be about Q&A, but a lot of episode 2 stuff if you guys have questions about it. Hoping Sanyo and stuff could have been on here. He's at the vet. This dog.
I don't know what you're doing for him.
But yep, exclamation point questions. You got any questions?
Fish have ick.
We'll get to them.
One of her fish has ick. But yeah, I didn't see what was up with Hero. I hope he's okay. Nothing more stressful than a sick pet. All right. Now we're ready. Welcome, folks, to the Friday stream. Today I think we only have myself and Elgarion. We might have a list later, but we've got, in case you missed it, I'm pretty sure you didn't miss it. There's a lot of craziness going on, including my daughter wasn't sent home from school, but I got a call at 3:47 this morning saying school's closed. Basically, they identified a couple of people not at her school, but who had COVID-19 in Austin. They closed all the schools. UT's closed. UT is staying closed an extra week afterwards, and they're going to be figuring out what to do. But we'll see what happens with our school. But anyways, I think Travis is also dealing with that, so he may be tied up with some of that stuff. But welcome to our Friday stream. Again, we didn't want to do another fishing tournament. Upper Tiers is closed. No, just kidding. Okay. We are taking questions. The question thing is up. Mostly we just want to get on since we are now getting pretty close to episode 2 stuff. Just want to get on and let you guys ask some questions if you had some questions. And try and make sure we aren't doing anything wrong. I know we're doing lots of stuff wrong. I can give you some updates on some of the QA stuff. But first, let me introduce my sidekick, partner in crime. Sidekick sounds bad. That makes it sound like you're less than me, but you're on top.
Oh, no. Doesn't matter. Definitely am. Definitely am. So, hi guys, Elgarion Community Manager for Shroud of the Avatar. Good seeing you.
All right. So stuff that's going on. Let me go over some of the quick stuff. Did we have any topic lists that we'd set up? Really, just episode 2 chatter, giving out prizes.
Episode 2 chatter.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we've got some exciting stuff going on QA right now too. The Bard stuff. Hopefully, we'll see how it goes. But maybe by Monday we could have a complete Bard class. One and Only is going to be working on the state machine stuff this weekend. So I'll have to add a few more points to the document form to make sure he understands what's needed. But that's kind of the big thing left hanging out there. Oh, and we got to thank some people here. Let's thank Trey Zerpil. Fizzle, thank you very much, Fizzle, for the raid. Skeggy Media and NBNN News. And I already thanked Griffler, but thank you again. And thanks to Pete Carmigini. I think that was actually on the end of my stream, but thank you, guys. And thanks for joining us here tonight. So one thing that we had, just since I'd mentioned the obvious national, well, worldwide pretty much health epidemic stuff. Yes, I do have toilet paper. Do not send toilet paper. But people had requested something to do when they were home. They wanted to do Shroud. They were trying to get me to do a public service thing and make more people get on Shroud for the next few weeks. And my best thing was, oh yeah, and we just got TP into the game. That's right. I was doing, the best thing I had was doing like 2x experience. And I mean, I was looking at sales stuff too. I think we've had some sales here recently. But maybe we can do some sales too. But I think turning on 2x experience for a while and seeing what you guys do would be pretty fabulous. So, and I'll make sure, I'll go double check and make sure it's 2x XP for experience or for crafting. If it is not, I'm going to get that in there and make sure that we do turn that on. Again, I am not 100% sure. I looked at the last time we turned it on and turned it off and found that changed list and just rolled it back. So it'll be whatever we did the last time, but I'm not 100% sure we gave 2x crafting experience points. Red Hammers, don't just grind all week, and you're supposed to be grinding for like 2 weeks or 3 weeks or whatever. End of the month is kind of what they're saying, if you can stay home and chill out. And thank you, Catherine Rose. Another thing that I guess I could probably migrate over from QA to live now, I tried when I was doing it, I made it a fairly self-contained list, is I could probably migrate over the 8-person to 12-person group limit thing over from QA to live now. It's got a few little things in it, but I'm actually going to try and get some of those cleaned up really quick. But maybe that's another one I could do this. We can do 2x experience, 12-person groups, get moved over to live, and then maybe even throw in like some type of sale
Nice.
just until the kids are back at school. So, do you guys know, was the last time we did double experience points, did we include crafting experience points, or was it just the adventuring experience points? You guys know. You did. Okay, we did. So if we did,
Yep.
Okay, then it'll be both. Now I see. Now people are saying it was okay.
Lace
Now
is
that
a
we
big
have
crafter.
consensus.
Yep.
Yes, I trust Lace. not E Hondas. No way. Don't trust that guy. Oh, now Gleppo's saying. So, anyways, we'll see. Tina, I did not fix the group Lua bug. I will try and get that fixed as well. That is another one that I'll probably have to go update a little bit of code to get that in there. But yeah, I thought I'd fixed that a while back, but I think I fixed it and it didn't get checked in or something. Yeah, so I guess you guys can look forward to that. Maybe I'll turn that on right after this. I'll turn on double experience points. I don't think I need to roll the servers. I might need to roll the servers. We'll see. But there is a new live build out there. I guess another important thing is there's some new performance stuff. I'm sorry, Windows only going on QA right now that I'm trying to get some testing on. There's a few issues that have come up, but it's pretty close. So apparently half the people got double experience on crafting, half did not, is what I'm reading. That's the only explanation I see. But anyways, there's a few issues left on the performance thing going on over there, but mostly it seems to have gone fairly smoothly. We will get some of those last few issues, like the green box underneath houses. We'll get those cleaned up and try to figure out some of the house stuff. But let's see. What else? Oh, so also on QA going on right now, there's a build going on that has a pretty big thing, which is we've been on the same version of Unity for quite a while, and I'm doing a build on QA right now that is on a version that is 8-point releases later. We hadn't switched for a while. We tried one that was maybe 0.3, like 3-point releases later, and it introduced a number of physics bugs, and we tried like 4 and 5 ones, but we haven't tried in like 4 releases since that, so we'll see how it goes. But we will see. 50% off. No, that doesn't seem so good. Yeah, well, I'll probably just turn on a Kodo sale just since we're doing the double experience point stuff. And again, this was a player idea. They said I needed to do this for the good of all men to keep everybody safe and encourage people to stay home and not go out and socialize. Instead, socialize online where you are safely separated by the internet by thousands of miles. Let's see. Could we, I can get over a few questions here. Did you have anything else on there? Anything else to add?
Well, of course, we got the weekly updates out now. On that cool thing, Megalopolis is available now for people to upgrade their towns to a new size. We got, of course, Land Rush. Land Rush coming up tomorrow for anyone that's moving a town over or possibly getting a new town for Mr. Endure, the Episode 2 continent. So if there's any questions about that, you can ping me on the forums, Elgarion, Discord, Elgarion4597. Ask us questions here, !point question. Yeah, just hopefully you'll be ready to go tomorrow for the first bracket, that is. First 20 people, 18-ish.
And Elgarion, if you look in the screenshots channel, don't ask why I put in screenshots. It was just a channel I knew wasn't going to get much spam. I just posted the recent questions in there if you...
Oh, perfect.
Perfect would be if I actually hooked up to the Google Doc like I intended to do like a year ago. But better.
So we do have a question from Browncoat Jason. Are we okay to dive into these?
Sure, go ahead. If there are ones you understand and want to answer, go for it.
Well, it's really just a answer is that we're not sure yet. He's asking, does Mr. Endure still have Atos Atoll and the Chaos Isle, or is it just the former Serpent Archipelago? How do you say that? But
Archipelago.
Archipelago?
Yeah.
It's that simple, huh?
Yeah.
So there's some names bouncing around for the three islands. But they haven't fully decided yet. So rather than issuing names that aren't finalized, they're holding off just a little bit on that.
And I do plan on getting something in. I'm not sure if I'm going to name it Atos' Atoll. I've managed to keep even up to now. I've kept my name, kept Atos out of the game, and tried to keep things generic. I almost put it in with the Atos' atonal whatever. I forget what I called it. But anyways. But yes, I'm sure there'll be some things changing. There may be some other little isles that crop up around, but we'll make sure that if we crop up any new isles, there probably won't be places you can put down a pot. Like you don't have to worry about missing out or jumping in too early on that. But let's see. What is the subtitle for episode 2?
So like Forsaken Virtues, what is episode 2's? Maybe we could base it off the novel a little, I guess. I don't know.
That's right. And I believe Ravlox is actually being a bit of an editor on that novel. Mm-hmm. Richard personally asked him to proofread it. I think mainly just because, I know this will shock you, but Tracy Hickman does a lot of other stuff besides write a book for us, and it's been how many years? He's written a few things since then, and he's doing all the Void stuff. And I think he wanted Ravlox to go and read it, as well as Richard reading it, to make sure that he fit with the fiction. Just want to make sure there's no fiction. We just got a word from Liz that family here being very loud is what he said.
Okay.
So I don't think he's going to join in. If you have any emergencies, we'll pull him in and we can listen to his family being very loud. But so Ravlox, just being very familiar with the fiction, is going through and reading it, and he said he's already found some really big stuff that they're going to be changing up a little bit. So let's see. Griffler asks, question, could we please get the character limit of an in-game message increased? It's at 192. I feel like, it's not fun. You want to send, come on, man, that's like more than Twitter, right? 192. So I can go and find that and turn it up. I love finding numbers and turning it up, which always makes Wizard Smoke or whoever actually wrote it cringe. The most recent one of that was me upping the mail limit from 10 to 50. And I did play a test on it. Like, I think I even tested on stream. It's like, let me drag 50 items in. See, it's all great. Works fine, works perfectly. So what we found out later was I didn't check the size of the data, and it works great most of the time. But if you're trying to send like 50 items that are all crafted items, and each one of those crafted items has like 9 things on it or whatever, and it's in addition to that, so then it's got it has all this extra data. And I forget who it was. Maybe it was Lace? I forget who it was. It was somebody from the community that I know pretty well.
I think it was Marguerite.
It was Marguerite. That's right.
Yeah, 31 envy bows.
Yeah, 31. Yeah, 31 envy bows or something like that. But anyway, some items had more data on them than other items, and that extra data overflowed. So again, I love going and turning up numbers, and then testing it real quick and saying works. But again, that's one that I'll turn it up and we'll see what happens. Maybe that's when I can get on QA. So let me make a note of that just so I can get it on QA real quick. And I'm not sure what the limit to that buffer was, if that was some like UI limit or just, pulled out of somebody's butt or what it was. But I will try turning that up.
Here's a question from Skeggy, and kind of makes sense too, because there is a lot of Nordgardian and Viking stuff going in on the episode 2 continent. And it would give somebody an adventure scene like right away over there. When is the old Ulfheim going to be live on episode 2 lands?
So hopefully I can get that this time. I have it. I've got a lot of stuff that I've got done and in change list. But hopefully I can get it done this time around. Again, I've had a bunch of, if you've seen things, I try to prioritize things as I feel, is best. And sometimes what I was planning on doing a month ago isn't what I feel is the highest priority at the time. Like the performance stuff that was going on felt like it was a pretty important thing. As I know a number of players struggle with performance on things. But the Ulfheim, I can do that one. I can finish that one. And actually that may be a better one for me to go back and redo. Because that's one that basically all I have to do is I already reverted the map and put it into a change list. And I was just dealing with a few hooks in it and IDs in it and stuff like that were tied to external stuff. The rolling back to that version of the map is easy. Rolling back so that like quest and everything that's mapped to different IDs isn't broken was the tougher part. Oh, and look, I've got my stuff there. You guys probably don't want to see my known Bard issues and junk. What's that in your background there? I'm trying to see what that thing is. Can you hold your hand up over your, let's see, your right hand shoulder? Is that right? No, left hand shoulder. Dang.
That side right there.
Yeah, is that a fish?
Actually, yes. That got sent to me. I was told to open it up Monday on stream. Winfield sent me a fish. Let me go into Skype and see if I can unblur the background really quick. I'll just go grab it.
Okay, I just saw it like suddenly it unblurred, and I was like, is that a fish in the background?
No. So yeah, I am now, I guess, an official Paxilarian. I have my very own fish.
Wow.
This is great.
Fleur says she has a matching fish.
I think this is the same one that Winfield has too. I think he bought the same type.
Nice.
Yep.
All right. Oh, and we are past due for the important thing. Let me click that button, and then we will. I guess I can check QA builds. How are QA builds doing? QA builds are probably 40 minutes. No, an hour and 30 minutes off. And that'll be for the QA and the new Unity. And if you're a Linux player out there, please go test it. This is the bug that has prevented us from rolling forward was a Linux only bug in Unity. And we didn't want to roll forward and mess up our Linux players. Let's see, pricing. It is going. All right, let me get back to some questions.
Here's a good one that just popped in from Majoria.
Okay.
with the introduction of the inky NPCs, they're asking if they can have a increase in NPC slots. Because I guess with people that roll out, they have to make a choice. Do they have a vendor or do they have a
Oh,
inky NPC?
so that's one of the things we've been looking a lot into is like some of those limits, and some of those were set. Again, I think there was a little bit of too much of a. When those were set, I think there was a little bit too much of a. We need to make sure and monetize on these things or something like that, and like we want them to feel like they have to upgrade so they get, the bigger number there. There's some other rationalizations for it in terms of just like visuals, like for instance, a row lot. It used to make sense because a row lot meant that there was going to be the whole house was there and you only had like this little sliver of land in the front, which isn't necessarily true anymore. But when we made that not true, we didn't go back and take a look at things also. So I think some of it's kind of two different old outdated things. And yeah, I will absolutely turn that up. In fact, let me go look at that right now, because I know where that lives, and I can probably change that before the end of this stream. But yeah, so I don't think there's the performance issues on it are not that significant. There's some things that scare us on performance, like again the mannequins are one of the performance challenges. But in general, they're not that scary to me. Let me see. I think I know where that is located, and I will change that up before the stream is over. Bam.
No kidding, man. They're going to love that one. That's a good one.
Well, I'll change it, but it won't actually go out until it goes live, and I've got to do the client and the server build for it. But it'll be live. I'll get it on QA tomorrow.
So what are you thinking? One additional NPC per size?
Let me tell you what the numbers are at right now.
Okay.
Show and explore. Fans can help us here. Let's see. Looking for it. Let's see. Rolot, max NPCs, 1. Looks like village gets 2. Town gets 3. City gets 4. Keep gets 5. Castle, max NPC 6. So that's another one of those things that we've done so much work on improving. I think at one point there was a lot more performance implications, but we've done so much work on that side of things as well, like the actual, AI type stuff, to make them cheaper. So maybe for rows, I could just go down the list and double them all. I would be okay with doing that.
I'm pretty sure everybody would be really happy with that.
Which would match doubling up, it's still proportionally, but again, just the fact that it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like that's not matching the square footage, really.
Mm-hmm.
I'll start with just doubling them for now, and we can see. What else you guys got?
Let's see here. Questions. See if I can find some episode 2 ones really quick.
Another one is the pot NPCs. Trying to understand the limits on those. Does anyone run out of pot NPCs?
Well, I think really you got like when you received your town, like 4 bankers, 4 crafting merchants, 4 cooking merchants, etc.
Mm-hmm.
And they're tradable between players. And people correct me if I'm wrong. It's been a long time since I received my towns, but and you would always like max out, place all your crafting merchants. You would place all your bankers, but then some of them, like the pet merchant, you don't really. I don't think I even placed a single one of those in my town because I didn't want to waste a slot.
Well, that's it. You didn't want to waste the slot, so now the world has no pet merchants.
I know, right? But I don't know. I think the NPC building limit too is kind of unusual because we've got some really cool assets that are held hostage by that. Like, for instance, the pre-built taverns and all the watchtowers and stuff. You remember back when NPC buildings were supposed to provide like the moon tower was supposed to provide a buff, but we went with the devotionals instead.
Mm-hmm.
Well, those things are still stuck in that NPC building category. Some of them were converted to town decoration, but not all of them. So,
All
yeah.
right. I'm just going to go down and add 2 to each one of those guys.
Whoa, to NPC buildings.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me know the numbers, and I'll send it to Keith because he updates the player's manual.
Okay. Yeah, I can just cut and paste those things into you, in there for you. All right, they seek approval. And again, some of these things, I mean, for some of them there was a valid reason. I think the numbers were chosen long ago when, for one, we didn't have information about what would kill performance, what would cause problems. But again, I think some of that is outdated information. I think some of it was done possibly, to try and push people monetize, get them go bigger. We want to make sure those are cooler and cooler and cooler, which we can make them cooler and cooler and cooler, and have bigger numbers, but we can still have them bigger than what they were. Yeah, like one NPC on a road lot. I get it. There was a time that made sense. You only had that little sliver of land at the front. But that's not necessarily the case anymore. So anyways. All right, I'll up those numbers, and that's another one we can continue to look at and take notes from you guys and see where the problems are and what you wish you could do. But anyways, those will be turned up. That'll be in the next QA build, and that'll be in the next live build that goes out as well. And Elgarion, I will send that to you.
Cool, thanks. We got a kind of a bard question here.
All right, bring it.
Are bards going to be usable offline if you use companions? In other words, will Fiona be getting updated to use bard skills?
Ooh. Interesting. So the way their skills are set up, it wouldn't be that tough once I have them in place. That would be an interesting thing for them. I'd have to make them pretty weak compared to what the actual bards are, but I mean, it's just because the actual bard skills are going to be pretty powerful. But yeah, that would be something cool to have in there. Oh crap, I just remembered another thing I need to put on my bard list. I don't have the custom bonuses for the artifact instruments yet. I need to go set those. Always more to do, always. But yeah, that's an interesting idea. Here's one from Lord of Honesty, which is... And this is one that only really old players will know, like maybe 4 years ago or so. Any plans to return the zombie plague, which obviously now I get that. But that's actually one of those things I was listening to NPR, and they had an interesting story that made me want to return the zombie plague back on. Which is, you guys might remember, we had the zombie plague that was a plague that One and Only added kind of as a joke, where you got near the zombie, and the zombie would infect you with the zombie plague. There were only a few ways to cure it. It wasn't fatal, but it was super annoying and did a significant amount of damage. If you got near another player or NPC, they would be infected by the zombie plague as well, and they could transfer it as well. So, as you might expect, that was only supposed to be in scenes that were adventure scenes, and when you zoned, it wouldn't fall with you. But somehow a player managed to zone, and it stayed on. And they went and infected, I think it was Owl's Head, but they infected all of Owl's Head, and they went around to every NPC in the town, so then every NPC was infected with it, and when you got near them, you were infected with it. So anyways, but the thing that made me think about turning that back on was I was listening to a piece on NPR, and they were talking about, with the outbreak, one of the things they've looked back to is in World of Warcraft, they had something similar to that was a plague that wasn't supposed to escape scene, but it actually escaped. Players, I think it was warlocks, could put it on their pet and then put their pet into stasis or whatever, and then they would go back to town and they'd take that off and take the stasis off, and the pet would still be there, and it would infect people around them, and they would do it and die. But anyways, they'd been studying that. That's one of the things that they actually studied, to kind of trying to understand human behavior and stuff in terms of how they behave in an epidemic. And that is one of those things that, I think they said that there's a lot of stuff that mirrors what happened in that and what actually happens in epidemic with people being silly and trolling and doing bad things, that they kind of expect the same type behavior. Obviously, the stakes are much higher, but as I see people spreading misinformation and posting, like, not just like spreading as in I heard somebody say, repeating that, but actually posting fake stories and fake memes that are, people are making that stuff. So there's a lot of that same type nasty trolling behavior going on. So, but anyways, I thought about turning it on just for that as kind of the let's make people aware. But I decided not to, just because it would, again, in very poor taste, given that this will probably blow up into something big. Let's see. So Elrond, King of Elves, was one who asked about the 2 vendors. Done. Let's see. Ian999. The new Lodi house looks great. You mentioned a similar house will be available for us plebes. Will this include a castle set for those who own castles, but not Loti ones? So the similar house is going to be, it'll probably be in the same style, like using that same set and like, the interior walls and the exterior walls and all the stuff that goes into it. It'll be similar in that way. It will not be comparable in size. It may be large, but it'll be large by non-Lord of the Isle manor standards. And when that happens, I'm trying to remember. We just talked about it at a team meeting recently, which I would ask Elgarion what he said, because Damon said something, but Elgarion, all he hears is people blah, 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 blah. He's on an iPad. It's really hard for him to hear. Yep. So at our team meetings, we have to like wave to get his attention, which is odd because we hear, when he talks, we can barely hear him, but we hear the typing of his keyboard perfectly. I don't know why that is. It always seems louder on that. But anyway, so yes, there will be a Lodi style house in terms of the external style, the white stone and some of the other stuff. But it will not be the Lord of the Isle set. And that's also, since we just talked about pot stuff and bigger pots, and you mentioned the Megalopolis thing, also a reminder that the Lodi comes with a free pot upgrade. I only know of one person who's actually used theirs yet. Maybe we haven't publicized that. We added it to the Lodi description, but I don't think we sent anything out to the actual Lord of the Isle current people who already had it. Because you guys also can get that too. You guys get one. So if any of you Lord of the Isle people are out there and you have a pot, and it doesn't have to be, you don't have to own the pot. You can just pick somebody else's pot, that you use their town or whatever. And upgrade their town for them. And there actually is again, the Megalopolis is why I added that, because there were some municipality people who were saying they wanted to upgrade using their Lodi. Although I don't think they have, but also I mentioned that there's a Gigalopolis. I haven't actually put the code in for it or updated the servers to manage it, but there can be, and that's what we said we'd call it, was a Gigalopolis. So that's next, I guess it'd be a Terralopolis, right?
I guess so.
And then a Petalopolis. Oh, and on the Serpent Archipelago thing that you didn't know how to pronounce, I saw a good quote, which was, "Don't make fun of people who mispronounce words. That means that they read it in a book." So that may not be true in your case, but
I don't know.
I thought that was a pretty good quote, because it's one of those things I claim. That's why I mispronounce it. Let's see. Tina, I honestly did not know the Lua thing. I had not checked it in. I thought I had checked in a fix for that. I will go check. It's also quite possible that I checked in a fix for it, and the fix wasn't a fix. That's another one of those that it's tough for me to test as well, because I do, I have to get you guys on to help me. So I'll try and get a fix on for that. If I can find my thing. Party order in Lua. I'll try and see what's up with that, see if I just didn't check it in, or see if I checked it in and it sucked. and I will get it and try to get it on QA so we can get that out. I'm planning on adding some more Lua stuff, some more Lua calls. I have a change list already that needs to go in that was for the vendor stuff. I just hadn't finished it up because I was running into a few bugs and, as always, hair on fire. And I'm also, not from you guys urging, but from the wife urging, I'm trying to not work more than maybe 10 hours a day. She urged me, just with all the COVID-19 stuff going on, to try to relax more, work less, stress less, and be more healthy. So I'm trying to. How do you guys get work done in 8 hours a day? I don't understand how that works. That's crazy. You guys get so much more work done if you just 12 or 14 a day. Let's see. Mia Sway, are you still planning on letting us burn recipes for crafting experience? I am. I still have a problem that I ran into. That's another one of my mini change lists. It's one of those things that seemed like it would be trivial, and then I found out it was not going to be trivial, that the salvage stuff is hooked up differently. That is one that I said, I think I mentioned this on one of my streams, that I am still going to do it. I just am postponing it until I get to tackling all that crap, all the crafting stuff, which is supposed to start like next month is when I'm going to start diving into some of that stuff. Next quarter is kind of the big thing. But yeah, there's a number of things I've got to look at in there. That's another one that I think maybe Fizzle brought up, was one that I am required to do. And I said I absolutely agree on the stream, which is the when you get multiple things. Oh man, I can't even remember the name of it now.
What's that?
You know, the repeat when you get multiple, not all I can think of is immaculate.
Meticulous?
Meticulous, not immaculate. Meticulous collection. We get a meticulous collection success, making that so the experience keeps adding for each one of those, so you don't feel like you're getting robbed, because you're spending more time and you're not really getting anything you want out of it.
Speaking of crafting XP, Mia Sway asks, are you still planning on letting us burn recipes for crafting XP?
Yes, that's actually what I was just. Burn rest. Yeah, that's what I was just talking about. That I am, but it's, you got to salvage them, and I got to wait until I get the understand that system, because the salvage stuff is set up on a very different system than everything else. I thought it would be something easier, but that is one. I guess one thing I could do. Trying to think how it would work that. I was going to say I could do something where I actually make it so you just put it on a crafting table and you burn it on a crafting table, because I know how I can do that, because I can do that as basically a recipe that takes any one of these 4,000 other recipes. But anyways, I'd mentioned that before, that I still like that idea. I'm still planning on doing it, but I'm waiting until I dive in and understand the crafting system a little bit. And salvage is part of that. And again, it's uses different mechanics than any of the other stuff I'm used to using. So, Scooby-Doo, what was in today's patch? So that's another good question that we should probably update people on. I think I did put patch notes out for the live patch. There were a few things that went into that that were, I know there are some new store items, and we have to actually do a client patch with the way things are set up right now to change out our vault. So one of it was just changing out the vault and updating the vault so that, the vault doesn't look empty. That happened to us one time because we forgot to do a patch, or we were blocked on doing a patch. So that was one thing. There were a bunch of typo fixes. There's some people, when they make changes, I just take them. One of those is Damon doing art fixes and adding in some new art. I know one thing he added in that I try to always take his stuff, because it's generally very safe stuff that doesn't need like QA type testing. And it was the Gaia's orb and the frozen heart or whatever. Those two things.
Frozen tear. Yeah,
frozen
Titans.
tear. Yeah, and Gaia's heart. So those now give off glows. Those give off glows to match the color of them, and they can also be used as a deco. So that was another thing that went in there. Again, though, I try to make sure we keep stuff going to live at a minimum. because just of the way when we're doing stuff, pushing stuff to QA and pushing stuff to live, we can get into these situations where a file has changed multiple times, and I can pull in some extra data that's not referenced and caused headaches, which I do anyways, but I try to minimize how much I have to do that. But I am, again, the QA build that is building right now will be on the new Unity, and it will include everything that is currently on our dev branch. And let's see, 6 minutes till the next prize inning.
Oh, we didn't award the last one, though, did we?
Oh, you didn't read the last one? You didn't do your job? You have one job. One job.
Oh, hold on. I'm ready. All right, here it goes. All right, so
Okay.
for the we got 5 prizes to give away, and this is triggered if you say "March to a different tune" in-game chat, or if you purchase something on the Kodo store. We've got a Cordovan maple inlaid drum. Congratulations, Taiki Vitre. A Diable cake goes to Sarah Ravenwing. A ornate fish throne goes to Naruna. A heraldry throne eternal pattern goes to Rage. And a replenishing aerial gold ring fish combo fireworks box cut off Sean Meckelbreath. Congratulations.
And yes, that is a ridiculously long name. I actually, when I went to paste that into the thing, I was like, oh, I must have pasted the thing in the middle of the other thing without deleting the previous prize, thinking like that's obviously too long, and I didn't, rather than replacing, I just inserted. Nope, just crazy long.
Yep.
All right, let's see. So right after the stream, I guess I can turn on the double experience. Wait, what? Who is that standing in front of me? I just now looked at my screen. Kill selected. No, I won't. An old player, an old friend of mine. But anyways, Red Hammers, will you be working from home going forward? Yes. The question is, are we going to have our one team meeting per week where we go to the tacos? I think the answer to that is probably also yes. Still trying to minimize going out, but yeah, once a week is probably not too much to go out. And if you've ever, well, you guys haven't seen it, but the place we go is pretty. It's not too many people go there. I mean, they do, but they do a lot of taco delivery stuff and things like that. They probably only have seating for 20 people or something inside, so it's not like it's the joint is jumping or anything like that. So yes, we have had 2 cases in Austin, but again, I don't know where they are, and I'm trying to be careful, but not so careful that I'm going to avoid tacos. Let's see. Taiki Vitre says, can you mark the toilet paper roll as sold out? Ooh, good idea. We'll jack up the price on it.
There.
Also on the will you be working from home going forward, I was also happy to see that a number of our friend studios actually just announced they're working from home, including the Crowfall guys. So kudos to Artcraft and Crowfall and Todd and Gordon and those guys over there for sending people home. I have talked to them about us working from home and how it's like, it's actually pretty cool, and I feel like the people we have are pretty productive, which, again, I always try to make sure and put the asterisk by that for us it works great. It's amazing. We're all super productive. We do, we're as productive as we were at an office, but, part of that is the team that we have of very mature people who have known each other for a long time. Or people who are already used to working from home, like this guy. So, anyways.
It's nice.
Irish Eyes, any update on fixing shark trophies not placing on flat surfaces? I want to place my sharks. I didn't know the shark trophies didn't place on flat surfaces. There's probably a bug for that, but the bug is not on me. That's weird. Not placing on a flat surface. So I guess I can tell you one thing that was talked about at our last team meeting that I don't think I've shared on any of my streams, and I'm sure Elgarion didn't share it. Fix it or we will revolt. Okay. But one of the things was discussing, we were going over the Vision 2020 list, see how we're doing on hitting things, and about as expected. We're going to miss a few things. There'll be a few things pushed. We got some things in that aren't on the 2020 Vision stuff. But one of the things that came up was some people on the team didn't understand what I was talking about when I was talking about terrain morphing stuff, and I had to explain it to them and get them to understand. But one of the things that came out of that discussion was I don't think other people understood some of the cool things that it can mean. One of the things that it can mean is if you're trying to place, if you've been a governor before or had to do the job of a governor and try to place a lot, you know exactly what I'm talking about, where you put the lot, the deed or the plot down, the plot marker down, and it's red. It won't turn green no matter what. It just won't turn green. It looks like it should. It won't turn green. And you've even played the game probably of like sliding it around, like whoa, trying to find the spot there and moving it forward. And every now and then, like the worst part is you'll see it flash green for just like a fraction of a second for like one frame, and you're like, there it is, and then you go and try to find that spot, and it's like impossible. But anyways, I just mentioned that if you played that game, that's a really fun game. That's one of those 40 hours of gameplay type things, is trying to set up your pot. But that tech, one of the things that I guess I'd talked to one person on the team about, but not the rest of the team, not you guys, which is that the tech is also planned to be used so when you're placing large decos or you're placing a lot, that the same thing is used to auto flatten the space you place it on. So this is not auto flatten as in you can go find a cliff and put your house on it and it auto flattens a cliff. This is auto flatten within a tolerance. Right now, the way it works, there is 0 tolerance. So if there's a tiny, a 1 millimeter bump in the middle of your spot there, then it won't place. This is adding tolerance to it, and it will, part of it is that when you place it, it'll flatten it. The same will be true for like pot buildings and those type things. So this will give you, again, the kind of range I was targeting was like a 1 meter type thing where it'll do, plus or minus 1 meter, it'll pull it into range for you. So anyways, that's something you guys have to look forward to. Again, I thought people on the team, I thought I'd talk to you guys about it, but even like I think List hadn't heard me talk about that part of it. But something to look forward to. I'm just mentioning that because
that's gonna be a really cool feature. I mean, what if you just want to put a little statue on the edge of a cliff with a bump and you can't? You start putting deco along your mountainsides. It's gonna be nice.
Yep. Let's see. So I want to place the sharks. Yes, I'm just mentioning that because that's something that is another one of those things that would probably be fixed by just having that a built-in tolerance and morphing the terrain. Fizzle mentions the Meticulous Collection XP thing. Oh, hold on, I gotta go click a button.
And we got it. I'm sorry, you were about to start.
Yep. Go ahead.
You got a question, I think it was from Dr. L earlier. With double XP, will the attenuation be doubled? Or, the attenuation cap.
You guys aren't supposed to be getting close to that. But yes, I know I've been watching that stuff, and I know there's been a few people who can hit it. I know the places it can be hit. It's one of those things I cringe when I see just how well you guys still do. But the intent was not for you guys not to be as far or doing as well as you are. I've not gone and changed that. I don't know if I'll change it for the attenuation for this thing, but yeah, I know some of you guys will be hitting it. But maybe. It is, again, I've looked at the way that was set up, and it is horrible just in the terms of how it behaves. It again, in case you hadn't heard me describe, the thing it was doing was not what I was told it was doing, but what it basically was doing is if you, the second you earn experience in the game, like you kill a stag or something and get 50 experience points for it on your property, it starts a timer right then where it goes and clears your attenuation. So It's crazy bad in how it works. So I'll look at it. Maybe I'll like bump it up to 8 or something like that rather than 5. But you guys shouldn't be getting that much. But that is good because that means I would hope at least you guys are having to, even though you're getting that, you're having to work hard to get that amount. I know I've watched videos of people playing. I know you guys have been doing good. And then the whole like don't touch your face thing that they're saying now, like that's what I'm saying. That's why I need the dog collar for people thing. Allergies are crazy. But anyways. All right, I'll look at that. Yes, bumping the experience right after the stream, I guess. And maybe I'll put on a sale for the weekend. We will see. And also, if you haven't looked at them yet and you were considering a Lodi, you can go take a look at them. We're probably going to make a few more modifications. Again, modifications we make modifications we make will definitely go to the people. If we're adding stuff to it, I know one of the things we were looking at doing is lowering the price, but taking away the crowns, so kind of making that a net zero type thing. But there's a few modifications that just as feedback from you guys, because I know there's a lot of people out there kind of looking at them. But Stymie LLTS 1 bit. That normally means I'm supposed to look at something. I don't see any text. But anyways, we'll take another little pass at them, make them a little bit sexier. But yeah, the pot thing is something out there. And again, any of you Lodi people haven't used yours yet, or if you know a Lord of the Isle person who has not used theirs yet, now's the time to start sucking up to them. If you're a governor of a town, see if they'll bump your town up. But anyways, and Kuntosh Dai, that's another one that is going to come back. With again, I think we settled at our team meeting that it's going to come back, and we'll probably have it at around the challenge for those, just so people understand the challenge with charities. We don't want to do more store stuff, like actual cash shop stuff, but on the web. We hate that. We don't think that's helps the game in a lot of different ways. But when we did have these on the cash shop, we knew if we were selling it for $2, that's great. We give $1 to whatever charity that goes with it, and it's a fixed thing. As soon as we move it into crowns in game, which is obviously way more convenient for you guys and has lots of other benefits, we get into the point of if we sell it for like 500 crowns, the charity doesn't want us to give them 250 crowns. You know, the cancer benefits and the water stuff. Like they don't want our crowns. So it gets a little fuzzier in terms of how to do it. So I think what we're going to do is we'll try it out on this die. The die will probably be something like, I don't know, I'll look at the other dies, probably like 300 crowns, and then we'll just say for everyone sold, we'll give $1 to charity. That's lower, obviously, than the 50% thing, but we're trying to factor in the fact that, hey, I'm about to do a crown sale. That's in there. You guys, crowns drop in game. That gets in there. Crowns come with bundles and other stuff so that their net effective cost is less. So again, we'll put something up there that is fair. It's not going to be like what we had before, was 50-50, just because you guys don't really pay, it's not $1 per dollar in the crown stuff. But anyways, the Kuntosh die is the one people have been screaming bloody murder about, and we will put that one back up just so you can get things. The other interesting die that came up at the team meeting that was a very, very divisive issue even within the team when it was brought up was I brought up the crazy idea of what if we make dyes consumable, and if you use a dye, it changes the color of your skin to the dye until you change scenes. Which I'm trying to remember exactly who screamed yes and who screamed no. I know that Damon, our lead artist, was one of the ones who screamed no. And I'm pretty sure Liz was one of the ones that screamed yes. I think there were a few people who just kind of looked on puzzled. But anyways, maybe that'll be something that'll come up. That's one of those. Elron says yes. And yeah, that's kind of the things that I don't see. It's not like you're going to go adventuring and you're going to see people out there, because it's not going to be a permanent thing where it'll change your skin. It's going to be one of those, like, it'll stay until you zone or something like that, or 4 hours. So it's not like people are going to be going out there and be pink all the time. Well, maybe some of you will be pink all the time. I'm okay with you being pink all the time if you're consuming dyes. But anyways, that's one of those things also that I've looked at. I haven't talked to One and Only about, but I will talk to him about as well. Did we do the thing?
I see the second batch of prizes there.
You read the first one. I'll read this one.
Okay.
Let's see. We have a Cordovan maple inlay drum. Goes to Parsifal Smith. We have a dyeable cake. Ooh. Goes to Rowena Roseberry. We have an ornate fish throne. Goes to Mia Sway. We have a heraldry throne eternal pattern going to Smelly. And we have the replenishing aerial gold ring fish combo fire going to Iron Mayhem. All right, congratulations, guys. Oh,
Congrats.
looks like Keith just got back. Let's see.
Yeah, he was asking if you wanted to pop in.
Well, we only got like 5 minutes left.
Yeah, but it looks like he's thinking about doing his own streams and just hosting it on the Shroud of the Avatar channel.
Asking him about Hero.
That'll be really cool. Because then we'll get to hear some of the story ideas he's got coming.
But yeah, do your own stream if you are up for it. All right. So let's see. Is there anything else we're going to talk about? If not, I'm just going to go back and answer a few more questions for another 5 minutes, and maybe we'll kick it over to Keith. Let's see. Red Hammer asks, do devotionals still count as NPC buildings and pots? I think I might have changed that. I think I might have fixed that. Does anyone know for sure? I vaguely remember trying to change that. I know.
What was it? The NPC what now on pots?
The devotionals. They do still count as an NPC building on pots. Okay, I did try and change that. I'll have to go
Oh,
look
you're
in
trying
the
to
code.
take them out of that?
I was trying to make them so they didn't count against that. Oh, no, I know why I didn't change that. I didn't change it because I started to change that. This is about a month ago, and I started changing it, and I was like, why do we do this? And Star got on and yelled at me and seemed attached to the idea of making it, because if not, everybody's just going to put out, all of them, basically. I get it. So yes, they do still count, but now I've upped the limits a little bit, so you probably, if you want more, you can have more out. Let's see, Scooby-Doo, Scooby-Dooby-Doo. Can we get dog animal spawners? I can't believe we don't have dog animal spawners. Why do we not have dog animal spawners?
It's going to be a dog biscuit?
Yes, we should get dog animal spawners. I can probably get that set up for you.
Maybe a water bowl or a dog biscuit or something is the placeable item. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. And Scooby-Doo has another question, which is, can you increase house item limits so we can stay indoors and deco our houses while coronavirus is around?
Look at that. He's appealing to your concern for the community. Yeah.
Increase indoor limits on things. So that's one I don't object to that much, because you can always just go and turn on the coaling to make it coal interiors of houses more. It's also one that with the new performance stuff that's going in, it actually does a pretty good job on that type stuff. So maybe? What are the limits set on that one? I think I still have that file up. Let's see. Oh, I think I just saw it. I'm looking. There we go. Romax exterior objects. Yeah, there it is. Romax. We let you have 200. Oh, that's right. Exterior objects now. I turned that up a while back because we did the pot. Or the no house row lot. Exterior lights, 4 interior lights. I'll tell you what, just to keep you guys happy at home for a little bit here, I'll add 200 to all of them so that you can go place 200 more items on any of them. Let's see. So now, even if you couldn't before, you will be able to place some objects there. Let's see. Town interior objects. That'll be 1,000. City max interior objects. Almost done here. Wow, keeps are crazy.
I think we're out of questions on the ones you pasted.
Oh
in.
yeah, I've got dozens more
Got
just
more?
hadn't pasted yet. Let me get that last one in. Okay. Scooby, that is for you. I agree. If I can get you guys to stay inside and do another 200 deco items in your house, and it keeps you off the streets and out of the bowling alleys or wherever you'd go to get sick. I always think of bowling alleys when I think of like disease transfer. I don't know. I think it's just because you have those balls and they just feel so. I know it's just the oil that goes in the lane, but those things are probably still disgusting anyways. Let me update the question thing, but we are just about out of time here. I'm going to hand it off. Again, I think Keith is probably going to jump on and do something here in a bit. Let me get over here to...
Oh, he's coming on stream now?
Oh, no, I think he's going to be doing his own stream here in a bit.
Oh, okay. Let's see here.
Oh, and the update on Hero is the other thing to share. He had a little hiccup with his eye scratch and has to continue taking his medicine. So Hero scratched his eye, and I think it got like a little infected. Speaking of infected, oh, I gotta rub my eye. But it sounds like it's not a big deal. He's good. It's not any of the more serious stuff he had from the past. Just having to continue taking his medication a little bit. There's my new pet behind us. New pets. My tank. Let's see. Yeah, that's a good idea. See if Keith's going to start up. If he's going to start up soon, we'll hang out and we'll raid Keith.
There we go. No, yeah, that's what I thought. He didn't mean right
Okay.
now. He was talking about in the future. He wanted to do that. Oh, wait, hold on.
Oh, he says, I guess I could do it.
Cool. Well, that's a surprise, but nice. We'll get some
We'll
story.
raid you if you want to. Elron says more lights too. Lights are the one thing that are actually pretty bad performance. Let me go and look. The interior lights, I'm trying to remember if those get cold as aggressively. Let's see, lights. Holy crap, castles can have 350 lights. Never enough, Elron, never enough. All right, let me go look.
Yeah. They literally want no shadow anywhere on their property.
And I'm not sure if Elron wants me to increase these numbers so he can add more decos to his house or so he can sell more decorations, craft some more stuff.
Looks
Okay,
like
I'll bump up the... Oh, what about Keith?
he said raid someone else. He wasn't
Okay.
set up to do it just today.
Okay. Then I'll bump up. I'll give you just another 20 lights. This is interior lights, by the way, not the exterior lights. I want to keep low because that can be a griefing thing. Those things always get loaded, and those can be significant. The interior lights, for the most part, get cold pretty aggressively. I got Scooby-Doo stuck in my head. All right. Whew. I don't think you guys need any more containers unless row lot containers. Yeah, you get 75 containers on a row lot. What? That's crazy. It's a ton. Let's see. I didn't actually give you the new questions, did I? Let's see.
Nope, not yet.
Let me post this one, then I'll answer the first one I paste on there. Which is from Famines. You have said a few times now that we would start to see new maps or rebuilt maps with each release. When does this start? So it actually started this release, as in the release coming up, and that I will try and get the old map moved over, the old Ulfheim. But Travis has been working on a completely new map. I forget if he has talked about it. Let me look at what his stand-up... I forget if he said which one he was doing, because I basically gave him... We've got, like, I forget, 14 maps, I think, that are on the plan. Keith and Travis and maybe you were on that too. Do you remember how many scenes they
You
had
mean
on there?
for episode 2?
Yes.
Yeah, Mistender, initially 7 towns, but keep in mind, majority of the towns are kind of similar to like Valhold, where it's more of an adventure scene, but kind of an NPC town in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
And then 7 adventure scenes. So 14 are initial plans, but I think they said there'll be more.
Yeah, and some of those 14, some of the, like you said, some of the 7 cities will actually be basically adventure zones.
Yeah.
But anyways, oh, I just got a response. Oh no, that's old. Spindleskog is the name of his map. Let's see. Yeah, so is that right? Spindleskog? I think that's what he's working on. Is a scene called Spindlecog. That's a completely new scene that I can't tell you much about. I've also started on the ravine scene, the mine ravine scene, but that's not going to be ready for this release. Again, trying to focus on the 400 other things I have already bit off. I am the Ulfheim. I guess I'm going to make that now. Go and take the new spawners that I'm making and put that in those that are the spawners that scale. So
I gave you a link to the design doc if you want to scan through and read out anything that you see. Some of the stuff, quite a bit of it's like undecided prototype. We already had, I think, a player-facing description at the bottom of each one.
let's see. Not a dry cough. That was a allergy cough. It's one of those things. I went to the store today. I went to HEB, washed my hands a dozen times, used little wipes and everything. But I did have some stuff I needed to get at the store, and that's like at some point I like was sniffling and I coughed, and it's just like then I'm like looking around. It's like, is everybody staring at me now? I need to wear my mask over here. Let's see. Looking through the questions here, trying to get a couple more. Oh, we're already over time. Sylvan Beastmaster asks, when will we get the next tier of Taming? I expect there will be a next tier of Taming that comes on towards the end of episode 2. Right now we're kind of calling what you guys have for the creatures that top tier. There will be new creatures come online, but they will not be the new tier of creatures. Just like if you recall, we had the tier, basically, internally they're called tier 10 and their tier 15 is the destroyer stuff. So the destroyer stuff is the current tier. That'll probably be the tier for at least a while. That may be the tier through the end of the year. But episode 2 will probably end up adding the tier 18 stuff as we kind of bump things up another notch and give you guys more ways to progress. We got to give the tamers more ways to progress. Some of that comes from their skills. Some of it comes from taming bigger creatures. So let's see. Will we get stronger wyverns and dragon pets? And yes, that's also been on one of my things. I've bumped up some of the pets. I do need to get those guys. There's no T15. There's no wyvern destroyer or dragon destroyer equivalent. And again, destroyer is just internal lingo for tier 15 stuff. So, did you have any last questions you want to ask there?
Well, Keith actually had one more little tidbit he gave us in chat. He says he's going to be working on a scene called, Lord British's Castle. And it's going to be a challenge dungeon style map.
This is one that came up, and I brought this up at our team meeting, but I don't think I got any real feedback. It's one of those that's a challenge, which is Stymie LLTS says, Atos at Syndicon. Yeah, this has been going on since Syndicon. You mentioned store-bought mannequins were too expensive and would address that. Any progress? Well, obviously not yet because they're still too expensive. Maybe cheaper versions that are heritage tagged. I think they just need to be cheaper. Again, we sold some, but not that many. That's one of those things. I think internally we always have this discussion anytime we talk about something that is already out there that we've already sold. When we make it cheaper, it's like, but you're screwing those guys, and it's one of those things we just kind of have to get over because we continue to hurt the game when we have a mistake like that we made. We could look at a way of doing like sending anybody who has them, like send them an extra one, double up like whatever they had. But yeah, I do want to get those cheaper. As for heritage tagged stuff, they won't be heritage tagged ever. They're still their containers, and we have there's some problems that get mingled in with that. They're kind of a weird container, I know, but they're still a container type as far as we're going. Another one that came up was people asking of like kind of the WTF of what were you thinking, which I honestly don't know. I stay out of that stuff, so I try not to criticize too much, but it was stay out of that stuff in terms of the setting the prices. But it is one that I try to not express too many opinions like other guys, but one of those that I did like express an opinion on too late, and it's out there now. The dirt pavers. Anybody want to pay 3,200 crowns for a set of dirt pavers?
Is that how much they are?
I said I would look at that too. So maybe I'll
Okay.
maybe I can address some of those things and get those out for the weekend. Again, the next two things I'm going to do is I'm going to go bump up to double experience. I'll watch if you
high
guys
quality dirt.
if I see a significant number of people out there who are attenuating, I will bump up the attenuation as well. And thank you. Let's see. I got a bunch of people who think they're Scooby-Doos and Elrons and Vahiron. Oh, Elron probably told me something because he did a bit. I'm trying to see. And Stymie and Eric Rules and again Stymie. Again, thank you guys for all the support bitwise in game and also all the good feedback and to a large extent, even when your feedback is calling out our bullshit stuff, which is what 3,200 crown dirt pavers are. So, anyways, I'll try and get some of those things. See what I can do. Maybe the first thing I'll do is take down cut the price in half on the mannequins. Which now, by me just saying that on the air, we will sell 0 mannequins until I cut them down. So, but anyways, but I'll try and see. Mention the team about getting a sale on. We do have a problem right now, which Elgarion is welcome to glare at me, which we signed up for a new mail program because we'd basically cut down how many people we were mailing to using the old program because it got into the several $1,000s range if we wanted to send emails once a week to our full list of people. So we cut it down to only the people who had clicked an email in the past, I forget how long. Some amount of time anyways. And when we did that, like, we lost a bunch of those people. And some of those people that we kind of probably want to show them some new stuff and bring them back. And I'd been working on a different mail system where I had kind of a semi-yucky mail system that, like, the mails wouldn't open properly on some people's phones and stuff like that. Well, I found us a new mail system, and we got on there and we sent out our mail thing, and then they said, your metrics don't quite measure up to what we want, and they put us on some lockdown. Said, well, we're just going to keep you on restricted. And the restricted basically would make it take, what was it, like 17 days or something to send out our mailing list once. So anyways, we're probably canceling those. I don't know if we're going back to our old system, but we may not have a mail today. Maybe it'll be delayed till next week. I'm working on that system, though. Maybe it'll go out late. That's kind of what the last two have done, is go out late. But we will be doing better on those. And hopefully we'll find a mail system that actually doesn't freak out just because we have like 170,000 emails on it or something. But I think that's probably about it. Have you done your job? Your other one job? You have a lot of your only job type things.
Pick on somebody to raid?
Picking a raid?
Okay. Yeah, we've got 2 to choose from. We've got Dysluxia and Fizzle 006.
Fizzle. Dun, 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 dun. I'll give him a random here. Let's see.
If anyone has any questions about the land rushes we approach,
2.
just message me on the forums or reply to this thread.
Who is number?
And I'll be looking this over all weekend.
Who is number 2?
Make sure everybody's ready for it.
Yes, send mail is great, but when you get into a high number, I mean, there's lots of different ways you can send mail. Obviously, I could just go into my email program and send something out. I've got a bulk email program as well. The problem is when you send a lot of emails like that, you immediately get added to every spam list. You get blocked. Most email types block you. I mean, it's not as simple as just I can set up my own email server and do things. You will not get anywhere with that. So mail is a complicated and crazy thing. That is one of those, that's why we can't have nice thing or things, thanks to the spammers out there. Who was 2?
2 is Fizzle.
2 is Fizzle. I get it right? Invalid username, man. Did he change it from, you said it's Fizzle, is it now F-I-Z-Z-L?
Yeah, F-I-Z-Z-L
Okay,
006.
We made him change his name. I got it wrong again. Hold on. I know this is great content here. F-I-Z-Z-L 006. There we go. All right, guys. Thanks for joining the stream today. Congratulations to the prize winners. I'm sure that guy right there is going to get them out to you here.
You bet.
Pretty quick. But guys, again, thank you for joining the stream. I will have a new QA version up for you. It may not make tonight. It'll be out tomorrow morning. You have till tonight. Oh, I didn't tell you what was on QA. The QA thing has a pay-to-trade feature on it that you guys should probably be testing. Speaking of things that should probably be done, I should probably get patch notes out for that. I will work on that, but I do have a family that is begging me to come out. Double XP is not on yet. I'm going to turn that on. I'll do that right now. Thank you very much for reminding me. Elrond, I will go do that right now. And we're about to go raid, so double XP. Maybe I'll turn on that sale. Now that, again, that's just like the mannequins. Now that I've said it, no one's going to buy anything until I actually do it. So I'll go ahead and turn that on. Again, this is our effort, Shroud of the Avatar, doing our part to help keep you guys home and safe and well, and not being part of the problem. So guys, again, thank you so much. We got like 2 weeks until the next release, and there'll be some cool stuff in it. See you soon. Let's go raid. Bam! And I will end my stream before people see me in my